What is up, entrepreneurs? Welcome to the final Friday live day with me, your host, Diana Gladney. We have been rocking and rolling most of 2018 live here on EntreWoman TV. I could not be more happier, more prouder, more excited than I am right now in this moment to be sharing in the final hours of 2018. It's been a fantastic year, but 2019 has a lot more to bring. So I know that I was saying last week that it was going to be the final Friday live day because I had my dates off. I don't know why. I thought that would be the final one before Christmas, I suppose. But either way, it all worked out. Let me make sure I got everything pulled up here. So the way things are working tonight, we're having, as far as I can tell, good stream quality and all those good things. But I'm just getting ready to check really quickly just to make sure that everything is good to go. But otherwise, guys, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, I am so glad that you are here. Now, with Vlogmas over and everything out the way with that, I'm very excited to say it will move right along with our regularly scheduled program. And I'm just excited about all the different things that'll be happening in 2019. Okay, so we're good to go. I'm checking the stream. Everything looks gravy on my end. Alrighty, so perfect. I always got to make sure. Sometimes Google throws you a wrench or two sometimes. But with everything happening, wrapping up with the end of the year, you have lots of changes and all kinds of things. 2019 is definitely going to be the year that you're going to want to be an Entre Insider. Kicking off 2019 immediately, I have access to some information and such that, of course, me being an affiliate partner with different companies, most commonly you'll hear me talk about Amazon, maybe Bluehost or Ecamm Live or something like that. Then sometimes we get access to some early information, and I just so happen to have access to some early information. Make sure you go to dianagladney.com and make sure you click on the button right there on the home page so that you can become an Entre Insider to get all those details, because as soon as 2019 gets here, there will be an email going out with some very juicy details, in addition to a way that you'll be able to save over 50% on the brand new course launching in 2019, the Entre Insiders Video Academy. So we'll be using the camera that I'm streaming live on right now, the Canon M50, as the base camera for what we're going to use in that particular course. So it doesn't matter what kind of camera that you have, but that's the one that I'm going to be using in this specific course. I was going through the course outline today, and guys, it's looking juicy and it's looking delicious. So hopefully everybody has had a great week, a great weekend. I'm hoping that if at all possible, you're going to get a 4-day weekend. If you're working, then you'll be able to just relax, enjoy yourself, and all of those good things. But I didn't have a specific title in mind for tonight. I did have, I did want to make sure that I was able to, okay, alrighty, just double checking the stream, trying to make sure I'm not private here, because sometimes that happens. And if you stream live, then you know the hiccups that can happen. But tonight is more of an ask me anything. It's not where you have to worry about, a specific topic and getting off topic or anything like that. It is going to be community-oriented conversation. So a lot of you guys have picked up the Canon M50. A lot of you have bought new cameras this year, and a lot have joined the Entre Insiders community, as well as the Entre fam here on YouTube. And I'm so proud to have you here. I'm so proud of you for taking that step. I bought my first camera, the Canon T5i, back in, exactly December 2016 when I actually got my first camera. And so it's been a long journey, and going from not knowing absolutely anything about cameras and all that jazz, to being, doing videography work and being head of video at my church and literally doing the biggest production that I've ever done. This like 2 weeks ago, I think it is now, but that, yeah. So P Martin 403, welcome to the stream and welcome to the Entre family. Asking, should I buy the Canon M50 now or should I wait for the new model next year? Well, I always say whatever you're going to do eventually, you might as well do it now, simply because you're able to find more Canon M50s already on the used market. I picked mine up used from B&H Photo Video. It was the entire creator kit for $550. And you really weren't finding the camera that cheap by itself. So you're able to find some gently used Canon M50s, or even if you bought it brand new. I don't think that the new model, knowing Canon, I don't really think that the new model will add too much more to what they already have. I don't see them, what they possibly could do 720p, not 720p, like 1080p, 120 frames per second, maybe. Then you're looking at a higher price point. If you're brand new to video, if that's primarily, and you can always, give me more updates or more information in the chat. But if you're just, trying to get started in video, it's a good camera to get started with. I put on the Viltrox adapter, the speed booster, 35mm f2.0, so it's very good in low light. Lens, and I was doing some video for Christmas, and I use that 720p, 120 frames per second slow motion of, my mom frying fish. You could not tell. So it's enough stuff out there to kind of make it work for you. I don't think anything new that they would add is going to be any better. And I think they're going to do a kind of like a dimmed down version of the Canon EOS R, rumor has it, before they do anything with the M50. So it may be something like an M6, M8 type-ish camera that flips up, maybe, but who knows? It's just rumors right now. But I don't think it's worth waiting, because especially if you're talking about wanting to start a YouTube channel, then, you're going to be waiting another year to really get the video quality and all that you want versus being able to get started now. Then two, last thing, because I know I'm pounding you with stuff right now. Last thing too is the fact that the Canon M50 is cheap enough. I saw one on Adorama's site in their used section for $539, I think, for just the camera body. And so you can get the lens for cheap, or an adapter or whatever, however you want to hook it up. I talked about that on last week's stream, just if you need to piece it together. You can do that and start making videos now at a cheap and low enough price point to whatever you're going to be doing for business, for personal, whatever. It's low enough to be able to make your money back, to be able to invest in something better when it actually comes out versus still kind of tagging along there. So hopefully that answers your question, P Martin 403, but glad to have you here in the community. Chris M, you saying, I love my Canon M50. I bought the camera on sale at Amazon, the creator's kit. That's awesome. I would have liked to have bought mine on Amazon, but it just so happens that I was just returning the Panasonic GX8. So it was very similar to the G85, just kind of a different body style a little bit. I was having issues with it, and it was like the third time I had got it, a different model. Sent it back, and what do you know? By the time that the money reposted back to my account, looked on B&H website, and whole creator kit used $550 on B&H. So somebody was working in my favor that day. And so P. Martin, you're saying thank you. Hey man, my pleasure. Always a pleasure. I get super excited about video, especially when it comes to getting started. I don't think that I would be where I am in my business with skill level, even presentation level. Like, you got to think every Friday I'm doing a presentation. I'm doing some kind of public speaking just here on the channel, engagement, getting that knowledge top of mind and whatever. So if somebody asks you a question, you got to know your stuff to be able to fully answer it, or just say, I don't know. But, even talks that I've given, I think like every live stream is like a public speaking engagement. So when I give talks now, whether that's, paid or unpaid, you're able to just do it without a problem. And so I've seen so many benefits just from getting started in video, being able to coach my clients, even putting together this Entre Insiders Video Academy that'll be launching in 2019. There's no way I could do something like that if I had never started. So it's so many different like little things, presentation, just clarity of mind, a lot of things. So Base Cornbread back in the house. Good to have you here. Said takes a seat and a piece of pie. Well, cut me a slice while you are at it. Michelle, good to see you. So good to see you. I am doing good. Thank you for asking. Good to see you here live in the community. So it is a ask me anything type of evening. I usually have some type of talk scheduled for the evening, a specific topic, couple bullet points that I kind of want to hit on, and then we just run through for about an hour. Tonight I want to open it up a little bit more dialogue. Kind of went through some goal setting stuff last week, but this week just want to open it up to any questions that you guys may have, any concerns that you may be dealing with, whether it comes to video or your small business or video marketing in general. So I was sharing earlier on the stream how being an insider and a beta tester of some programs and stuff like that, I'm getting some very juicy video details. So if you're not already an Entre Insider, part of that email community, you definitely want to go to DianaGladney.com and get that taken care of, because it is about to get really, really good. One of the things I'm excited about that recently just happened is the video editor that I was using prior to Final Cut Pro 10 that I edit on now is Filmora, Wondershare Filmora. Love that software so much. Only reason is I switched to Mac at all was for Final Cut Pro. And there's so many things that you can do. Now, don't hate if you're a PC user. I've been using PC all my life, okay? But Mac changed my life this year. So, but it's just like everything, it just works so well on a Mac. So I got over to Final Cut Pro just to find out this past week or so. I think this would technically be the second week. Filmora just updated. So if you bought a license on a PC, you can now use that on the Mac, which you couldn't do before. And I wasn't going to buy the license twice. I would just use it on PC if I had to. So now, not only can you do that, but they've updated Filmora 9, and Filmora has a pro version. So I'll have to go through, test that out. But Filmora, you can download the demo if you're new to like video editing. It's the go-to software that I use, and it's actually going to be one of the programs that I recommend in the Entre Insiders Video Academy, because it is super simple. It makes stuff that you do, transitions and all kinds of stuff. Like most of my videos in 2017, early 2018, all Filmora, whether I made my own intros, whether, I did an end screen of something, like all in Filmora. Now they have a pro version that's kind of like Adobe. I'm kind of like on it because it's a bit much, but their Filmora 9 update that they have is just awesome. So let's see here. So we got us a deal hack coming through by Chris M saying Costco has a Canon M50 deal right now for $5.99. It includes the camera, lens, Canon camera bag, 32 gigabyte Ultra SD card. Hey, did not know that, Chris. Thanks for sharing. Hope that helps somebody. I wish that's a steal. So Costco, huh? So so I don't have a Costco card or a Sam's card, but I wonder, is it like that only if you're a Costco member, or can you borrow somebody's card if you needed to get that kind of hack on? Obviously, I already have one, so I can't do it, but I'm asking for a friend. So Chris M, you said your videos are amazing. How did you learn so much about cameras and photography? That is a fantastic question. So I am a person that if I want to know something, I will not stop until I've just about mastered it. And I won't say I'm a master or Yoda of, all of this stuff, because it's always something else to know. It's always another level. But I saw a video in this group, because I would start doing videos on my phone. It was horrible. It was like 5 megapixels. It was really blurry, and I was really super self-conscious. So I would do them in my car, turn the car off, and sweat to death in 80-degree weather, but that's the only comfortable place I felt doing video. And I didn't want to do that anymore. But my coach that I had hired, my business coach, challenged me to get started on video. The more I started doing it, the more questions that I had. The more questions that I had, the more I realized there wasn't really good answers out there. So the way that I describe things like on my channel, especially like something like the M50 series, or when I'm describing how to do stuff, nobody was really explaining it that way because they were already a seasoned professional, some seasoned photographer, or some. Hopefully the audio didn't jump there. Okay, looks like my mic is playing games. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Let me check on that real quick. So let me know in the chat real quick if you guys can still hear me. Should be okay. Should be. That's different. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. It looks like the audio is still coming through. Interesting. Alrighty. Let me check real quick before I continue on. Audio went to the laptop mic. Okay. I thought it popped for a second. Okay. Mic is fixed. Okay. Okay, good. All right, so it looks like we are back. No, it's back to the built-in microphone again. What is happening tonight? Okay, so now it's back to the USB microphone. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know what made that jump like that, but okay. So back to your question, Chris. Sorry about that. The way I just learned as much as I did about it, I had to find my own answers. And that makes you have to literally start from scratch. So the fact that I had to start from scratch, I had to know everything. I got all the books. I was buying courses, stuff. Even if like I knew these people were talking way over my head, I still just kept at it. I would not stop. So, okay. So now you're saying it went back to the laptop. Now it's back. Sounds clear. Okay. Now it's back. Okay. Somebody's playing games with me. Okay. If there's a ghost in the house, pay a little something on the rent. That's all I'm saying. Just pay a little something on the rent. Okay. Back to the question. But yeah, I had to learn everything from scratch. And figure out, like they would say a sentence, like the dynamic range of the f2.390 of the 35 millimeter lens. And I'm like, what the heck did you just say? I only speak 2 languages, English and bad English. So which one, are you saying to me? So for that reason, I had to so now I'm stopping every video and have to define that word and look this up. And so this is how journals like this happen for the year. I just literally had to start from scratch. And it's having to learn everything that I would need to know to be able to do the simple stuff that I wanted to do. I was self-taught, completely self-taught. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm quick to invest in myself on certain things just to make sure I get what I need from a pro or a coach or something like that. Other than that, it's all self-taught. So we got Steph Shutter TV. Welcome to the community, saying you love Final Cut Pro. I love Final Cut Pro too. It's the bee's knees. Okay, if there's a bee's knees Hall of Fame for video editing, it's Wondershare Filmora, and then it is going to be Final Cut Pro 10. So Michelle, you're saying I'm stuck with my old 70D. It dies, or it does the job. I had sent you a message, Michelle. I'm not sure if you saw it on one of your. Microphone jumped again. What is going on? If there's a ghost, pay some bills. That's all I'm saying. I think my cord is a little loose on me. All right, I'm going to send you in for a repair. Okay, now it's back. All right, dear ghost in the room. There's an electricity bill that you can pay. There are phone bills that you can pay. There's internet bills that you can pay. You can just cover the business bills if you like. Whichever you prefer works for me. I don't even mind. There's a spare bedroom here. We get you an air mattress. It'll work out fine. Sorry the audio keeps jumping, guys. But so, Michelle, back to your question. So, you said, I'm stuck with my old 70D. So, I left a comment for you under your comment that you left about the program that I use here for the Canon M50. I checked. It also works for the Canon 70D. So, you can do the exact same thing, still have access to the autofocus because it's not a bad camera. You got audio input jack, dual pixel autofocus. I believe it has Wi-Fi. So it's essentially a lot of the same things, just in a little bit of a bigger body. Probably has some better video specs, slightly minus the 4K, which is not a huge deal. But you can do the same thing. Ecamm Live or trying to think what that other program is called. Same thing, similar to this, but an encoder software, OBS. Open broadcast software, but it'll work for yours too. I checked. So yeah. Base Cornbread, you said puts on the PC hat. Wearing the PC. Gotcha. All right. So Base Cornbread, you said don't pay someone outside to get it for you. They go on a shopping spree and disappear. Not sure what that means. So I'm going to skip down to the most recent comments now. Let's see here. You're saying I'll keep my Adobe. Only thing with Adobe that I don't like is the monthly subscription. That's fine that you have it, but I want to just pay it all at once. Just all at once. I don't like monthly subscriptions because I feel nickel and dimed. Now, it gives you more than enough like hardware, but it's like forever. Like think of like the lifetime of your career you're consistently paying. And if you're making more than enough money, it's minimal. I get it. But at the same time, at least, and it could be, you can let me know if I'm wrong. But instead of like the monthly thing, can I just pay for the year and be done with it? You know, take 20% off or something, 10%, whatever. But let me pay for it for the year and just be done with it versus every single month, because there are some services that are legit every single month that I can't change, that those are the ones I only need to be focused on being a monthly subscription service. So Steph Shutter TV, you're saying, have you ever used Power Director? It's great for Android devices. So I have used that. I actually do use that on my phone since I still have Android right now. I'm highly considering switching to an iPhone. I just want one so bad. I had the option. I got 2 new cell phones this year. So one could have been an iPhone, but I like to swipe the text. But yes, I do have Power Director. I have Filmora Go app. And there was another one that they have, but yeah. So I do use it. It's pretty cool. Again, I'm for whatever reason, Mac is just keeping my attention this year, and I really want to switch kind of like to all Mac and see what that kind of life is like. But I do like Power Director. It is really nice considering it's on a phone. So Base Cornbread, you said, are you using the 35mm with your speed booster today? Well, my good sir, I am not. This is the kit lens. And so I thought about it, and I could, and I just don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. So, yeah. And I guess I could switch to it if you guys wanted to see what that is like, but it looks good. I went to, so the last, the last Vlogmas video that I did in the kitchen with my mom, it completely, minus the contrast autofocus, which I'm going to do a test this weekend between the Panasonic G85 autofocus, since that's contrast as well. I'm going to try that with the Yoda Yo-Hack versus Canon's 4K, both in 4K, and we're going to try it with the 35 millimeter and the speed booster and see, how does it compare to something that is they're used to doing, contrast autofocus. I kind of trust Panasonic a little more in that area, but I'm curious to see who would hold up, and then I'll try with the kit lens. So I don't know if you guys want to see that video, you can let me know in the comments or over in the chat. But I want to see who has the better contrast autofocus, because if Canon is very similar to Panasonic, then I guess it's not much more to complain about, since there would probably be about the same. But yeah. So Chris, you're saying, I think that you can get a Costco cash card without a membership that can be used by non-members both online and in the store. So if you're interested in the deal, you could do that. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Hope somebody gets to take advantage of that. And you saying base cornbread as far as Adobe, yes, you can pay for the year. Okay, so that's cool. And you get, some kind of percentage off. So that's great. So Steph Shutter TV trying to keep me with the Android fam said, hold on for the Samsung Galaxy S10. But what different is it going to, what is it going to be about it? I'm seeing them make those micro adjustments, oh, well, the edge goes edge to edge. It's like, I don't care. I still watch my YouTube videos on my phone in 720p just because. It's like, I don't really care. I'm watching the same stuff. I'll probably watch most videos I'll probably watch them twice. So I'll watch it one time on my phone just for the sake of watching it. And if it's something more in detail or more in depth that I want to know or learn about, then I'm usually going to watch it on my screen, on my computer here in the office, or in the TV in the living room. So it's kind of like, what to do. But it's like, well, what better would they really be able to offer? So base cornbread, you saying, have you tried or have you seen the 24-70 Tamron G2? So I have not, or is that, I'm guessing f2.8, you're saying it is dope. So I have not seen that lens particularly. I've been looking to see, because one of the things that I learned about the M50 speed booster is that it's not like the regular one. So they have just a regular adapter that you can stick your finger through that has no glass element. That will take all Canon lenses from EF, which is for the full frame, or EFS, that's for cameras like the Canon 70D or the 80D, T7i, SL2, those type cameras. So I have an 18-55 millimeter, just a regular kit lens that came with the SL1. And then I have the 35 millimeter, which is a full frame lens. Both of those will work on the regular adapter, but it will not work on the one that's the speed booster. So I do want to find a good zoom lens. And I guess I'm kind of having to move into that higher lens territory, but I just wanted to see what would a basic lens, I'm not sure what that probably would be on a full frame Canon lens. What would that look like? They always have those 24-70 different ones, but it's I'm not so particular, but I would like to kind of build that lens system out, since I can do all full frame glass now. And it's just crazy. So when I took that I only took the 35 millimeter and the speed booster and the M50 to our family gathering and to my parents' house. So Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I only took the 35 millimeter lens and that speed booster. So my cousins, they built out their garage and they just put tables and stuff, and you can watch the video. Just a regular setting, regular setup. I'm only using that. Test my eyes and you watch the video for yourself. I did not see any kind of real noise or nothing. I didn't even have that super wide open, so it wasn't all the way down to f2, I don't think. But it's crazy the difference that I'm seeing with this speed booster, $150, and you almost give a super upgrade to the Canon M50. It's really bizarre. But I get now why Canon wouldn't do that, because nobody would want the Canon EOS R. Neither would I. Honestly, they will never get my money for the Canon EOS R, this first version that they have. There is not enough difference. With the addition of this speed booster, there is not enough difference. I bought the guy from EOS HD. I bought his presets for Canon cameras. I put that in there. I can completely get a flat color picture profile. So their Canon log is of no use to me. The dual pixel autofocus in 4K is really of no use to me. I'm not going to vlog in 4K because that is just ridiculous for my workflow and my use. I would never use 4K for vlogging. We're just not at that time. You know, when 4K gets to be like 1080p is and we're into more of the 6K, 8K realm, then maybe. But that's updating a laptop. That's updating storage. That's updating all of that. And when you do enough videos, like I don't even know how many videos I've done this year across all platforms that, you know, I've recorded, shot, and edited and all that stuff. That's still a lot. I'm up to several terabytes right now. So I got to get a NAS system to just kind of handle all of that. And that's just 1080p video and some 4K. Not all 4K, just some 4K sprinkled in here or there. But with the addition of this speed booster, I'm looking to do that for like interviews, stuff like that. More stuff. I did the whole Christmas program, manual focus. All cameras, all those cameras, all 4 cameras, manual focus. So I see and I kind of get why Panasonic kind of goes behind and then it comes. Like I get that because I made those exact same gestures just simply dialing it in. So I kind of get the contrast autofocus now having done manual focus. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So Base Cornbury saying, yeah, no EFS lens. So Steph, Shutter TV, you're saying, did they fix the issues with the speed booster yet? I am not sure what issues you may be referring to exactly. I did just see a video today, though, that a gentleman was saying how it won't retract the lens, like the whatever that focusing element is. It won't retract that once you turn the camera off, and then it was kind of draining the battery. So I only saw that it doesn't retract the lens. I didn't think any of it, honestly. If he had never said it, if I never saw the video, it would never be a problem that I would notice. I'm used to retracting my lenses back and making sure they're back to a certain standard before I put it in the bag anyway. So that's not something I would have noticed. There is a firmware update out there for it, though. Since I'm probably going to be doing some videos on that speed booster for the M50, that'll be not included in the M50 series, just kind of like standalone videos around it, then I'll show that, what that firmware update looks like. But it's super simple. But that's what I'll be doing this weekend, probably tomorrow, is updating that. But I honestly did not see any problems. So I guess if you leave the battery in there, maybe it drains it, maybe it doesn't. I can't confirm that. I only saw that it didn't like fully retract the lens back. It just kind of stopped it wherever it was at. But again, not, you know, big issues for me, but I don't see or haven't found any issues other than those two that the guy mentioned today. So Base Cornbury said the best thing you can do is to go to the store, but try a Tamron lens and see if it works with the speed boost. Only thing with the camera stores in St. Louis, they suck. They are not like super great for, like, they don't like the online world. Honestly, they're not keen on it. They want you to be a regular photographer that has no intention of using a DSLR or a mirrorless camera for video. They think it's all stupid because when I simply went to see what kind of mirrorless cameras that the two major stores in St. Louis has, they all were like, well, you have to go on Amazon for all of that. Like, they shunned me off like it was like I'm asking them to give me a bucket of fried chicken or something. It's like going to Popeye's Chicken and saying, hey, can I get a fish plate? Like, they was like, we don't do fish here. But that's kind of like the kind of roll-off issue that I had there. They were like, no, if you really want this. They were trying to sell me a Fuji camera. And that was the only like mirrorless that they had. Everything else was something like a 60D, 70D, 80D. They only had DSLRs. They were only really interested in photography. And they don't like the fact that Amazon gets so many sales. So I can't, like, they're not so keen on even the fact that that's what you're planning to do, nor are they like really interested in third-party stuff on their glass. So I thought about it because I wanted to try that last week. Wanted to try it last week while they were open, but I don't know, they just kind of like aren't nice, all that great. They're not all that great, not from my experience. So, so you're using 37 millimeter straight up film format. I mean 35, maybe something like it. And so, Steph Shutter TV dropping us some hints here, or some secrets. Insider secret said Canon is actually making a speed booster. Should be out in 2019. That's interesting. I would not expect that from Canon, but my thing is that I think Canon has been sitting dormant for so long. They're tired of being the bastard child of the camera world now when it comes to mirrorless. And so hopefully that's not offensive to anybody, but if it is, I'm sorry. But they're used to being the redheaded stepchild. They don't like this thing. Like, I was just thinking, like, fast forward to earlier 2018, everybody's dogging Canon. They don't do 4K. They don't care about this. A lot of people went to Panasonic. A lot of people went to Sony. And they just kept giving out features after features. And so people are, like, well invested into those systems now. So they kind of have to do stuff like that. I wouldn't think that they want to do a speed booster, but I wonder if they would make it better than the Viltrox one, because that one is like, it's what is it, 0.71x, that it kind of gives you back more or whatever. So I wonder if they'd make it better. But with Canon, they're so used to just being closed-fisted, not giving you anything, and just, like, they're so used to being like, here's a loaf of bread, even though you're starving, but take that and have a great day. They're so used to not giving you or giving us what we want. It's kind of, I don't know. I've learned not to get my hopes up with them. I'm happy for the things that they do, but I don't know. Base Cornbreed said, did you update your speed booster on the PC or a Mac? I haven't updated it at all yet, but when I do, it'll be on my Mac. I'll have to check the website and see what they prefer. I think it should work for both, but I'm probably going to try it on the Mac first, since that's the proprietary system that I typically use. So, Steph, you're saying the issue was that you couldn't view what you shot without turning the camera completely off and then back on again. Oh, I never had a problem. I've taken pictures and video with it. So I have had zero issues with the speed booster, like zero, other than, like I said, it not bringing that little bit of a focusing element back in on the prime lens. That was it. Zero issues with that speed booster. It came really, really well packaged, like very well done. So it still had the stickers on there and all that. So if you pull it off, it says void and all that stuff. So very well put together, but I've not had any issues. I literally pulled it out the box, put it on the camera, and I've been using it ever since, almost every day, just to test different things out. And I want to test the focusing speeds. It's more of a lens thing than I think the speed booster at that point, but I think with any kind of adapter, it's not going to be as fast as a native lens for that mount. But no, haven't seen any issues. Let's see here. Where are we at with the lens? And if it did work, you can return it. So you could get a lens, and if it did not work, that you can return it. I'm a simple woman, so I usually have my kit lens, and I find a good prime lens that I want to use, and I just make it work with that, because I don't need much more than that. As much as people dog out the kit lens, gotten paid a nice grip of money this year from using kit lenses, so I can't say anything negative about it. I just feel like I was saying like last week, if you take a basketball, you put it into somebody like a Cheryl Swoops, let's go back WNBA back in the days, a Cheryl Swoops or a Cynthia Cooper hand, or fast forward to today, LeBron James, it's worth so much more in their hands based off of their skills. You put that same basketball in my hands, it's not worth as much, or if anything. And I feel the same way with cameras. Like, if Peter McKinnon, for example, since everybody loves him, Peter McKinnon walked through the door right now, comes in the shot, says, "Hey guys," or "What's up, everyone?" Peter McKinnon walks in, and he picks up the camera with the kit lens. He'll make it shine, which lets me know I have more work to do, or there's something more that I could learn to do to make it do the same thing. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. So I don't dump a whole bunch in the glass. I try to get my skill level up. I'll get one prime lens that's really good or decent, and I'll just use that, and it comes through really well. Now, this name threw me off last time. I looked at it after the live stream to see if I could pronounce it. Let us test my sounding out abilities. Cap'n Molnaz. Huh? Did I do it? No, probably not. Alrighty, Cap'n. So, what's your favorite camera? The G85 is looking at me right now while I'm using the M50, so I don't know if I want to say this too loud. I have come to love still the G85, even though I don't use it as much when I need to do simple stuff with the M50. If I'm behind the camera, I almost always want my G85. Almost always. If I'm in front of the camera, I almost always want the M50 now. Especially with the speed booster, it just kind of sweetens up the deal. My absolute favorite, though, if somebody came in, they said, you got to get rid of one. Absolutely have to get rid of one. I would hate it, but at the end of the day, I would get rid of my G85 and use the M50. I would. And that's like a tough pill to swallow, simply because for 99% of what I do, I know I could get it done with just that small price point, more than made my money back on the use of the camera, and it will continue to double and triple its profits to me from its use. I would have to say the M50 right now. I love Canon's system. I was even thinking their new G7X Mark III is coming out, and that's supposed to have a mic input on there. So a point and shoot camera, flip up screen, mic input. It's going to be jazzy. I love their system. Everything about what they do is good. You know what? They don't do everything, but what they do offer and bring to the table, they do well. Colors. I don't have to tweak these colors. It looks good. Straight out of the camera. Kit lens, $500 camera. Looks great. USB cord. It's light. I could vlog with it. It's the do everything camera for me. I would use the M50. So leaving out of 2018, despite everything I said negative about the camera before I had it, favorite camera right now is the Canon M50. So, Steph, you're saying if you want to visit a great camera store, you got to take a trip to New York and go to B&H Camera Store. Amazing. Everything you could ever want. I believe you. I want to so bad. I had a weekend available where I could have taken a trip, just a weekend trip to B&H. It would be a problem. It would be a problem. I almost missed my flight out of Las Vegas this year because right when I was getting ready to go to the rental car drop-off, I looked to the left and I see there's a huge Fry's electronics store. So I can only imagine several stories of nothing but camera stuff. I need a week off. I need a week off because it's, you're going to spend so much time in each area. And I know I'm going to get lost in the used section for real. It's just so much stuff. I like getting the catalog. They just sent me a new catalog. I like looking at their stuff online. It is just so fascinating. And the fact that they're current, they're into everything. They're, you know what I'm saying? They're the camera store. I agree with you 100%. 100%. I definitely got to make that happen because that is going to be probably my favorite vlog of 2019. So Base Cornbread saying, how wide would you like to go when you want an EF and what f-stop? I'm not concerned with the f-stop because I have the speed booster and I'm going to be using that on an M50. I just want something comparable to the kit lens, honestly. Something between 15 and 18-ish. I don't care what it extends out to, but something like the kit lens already, something like the length. 18 to 55s are everywhere for the 70D, 80D. I don't know. I just don't know what that lens is for Canon's full frame lineup. I guess the 24-70 is what they typically use, but I would like to see something a little bit, lower, between like at least 16-ish. Probably had to go like Sigma 16 to 35, something or another that I've heard about before. So yeah. So Base Cornery said, yeah, I made a lot with the 18 to 55. First courses, 18 to 55. Makuta Miserex. Y'all keep throwing me up with the names. Good to see you. Welcome to the community. Said, do you like cheese? I love cheese. Cheese does not love me. Dairy does not love me. I don't know what they've done to the cows since when I was a kid up until now. They need to stop it. I don't know what they're doing to the cows, but I used to drink whole milk. I can no longer drink milk, period. Used to eat cheese, American cheese, sharp cheddar, mild cheddar, any cheddar. Can't eat it anymore. If I do now, like I'm suffering for it, and anybody around me is suffering for it. But yeah. So Chris M said, I agree. I love many things about the Panasonic Lumix G85. However, it just seems like the M50 beats it on almost everything. I wish that I could combine the best parts of both. Yes, I was thinking about that the other day. If I was an engineer, if I was some kind of person that had like a workbench, knew all of the intricacies for electrical engineering and all of that stuff for the camera issues, I would literally take these apart, have both of them open on the workstation, somehow fit the best parts of the M50 into the G85, because it already has the IBIS. Probably swap the sensors out. Get the color silence between both is okay. I found it to be a little bit cooler on Panasonic, but I'd probably put that in there. Let's see. I don't even care about the lenses because both are good. So Micro Four Third lens lineup, or this one is good, so that's fine. But still keep at least an APS-C. So that's cool. Both have flip out, great touchscreen menu systems. I would probably still pick the Canon one over the G85 and weatherize it. That's it. If I could take the N50, sit it, mold it, X-Men it together, make it into a superior being, an X-Men type camera, it'd be the GM50. That's what I do, so I get you. Said the bad thing is that B&H does not open on Saturdays. Yeah, that's the only thing. I found that so awkward, but I respect that. A store with morals, like regardless as to what they do for as like religious beliefs for the store and all that, at least they have some. My daggone job, they don't care what you celebrate. It could be your baby's, like one of the, case in point, because I was about to say, just as a general example, but one of my old coworkers, he sent out an email to the whole department trying to get somebody to cover his shift because his daughter was going to be born, and he could not get the day off because it was too busy. The company just wouldn't let him off. Somebody had to cover his shift. That is horrible. Working for freaking Stooge, the ghost of Christmas past. It's like, who does that? Who does that? Can't get, paternal leave? So can't get that kind of, like, it sucked. It was horrible. But at least they have some kind of, scruples and morals and all that stuff. So, that's the thing. So he said 24 to 70. If you want the f2.8, you can go 16 to 35. But only the f4 had stabilization in the lens. Appreciate the research. I'm guessing the 16 to 35 is by Canon, or is it like Sigma or somebody else? Because here's the other thing with some of the lenses that I saw. That same chipmunk type noise, that noise, I don't really want to deal with that. That means it doesn't have the stepper motor. So, like the fact that Canon built this new mount for this RF lenses and all that stuff, it doesn't leave many options that they will continue to add for that. So I'll probably have to get something a little bit bigger than I care to use for a kit lens type to put on there. Like I said, I'm not really worried about if it goes down to like f2 or something like that, because with the speed booster, I'll get more of that light than I typically would anyway. So, it'll work out. I'm not like chasing the blurry background all the time. So that's the only thing. I'm not so keen on that. So, and you said the 16-35 has no image stabilization. Well, crap, we're out of the waters with that one too, because the M50 doesn't have built-in in-body image stabilization, which I wish that they did. If I could put a wish list together, Canon, if you're listening, which you're probably not because I dogged you out earlier this year, but that's all right. Love you anyway. In-body, just do what the G85 did. How about that? Just look at the G85 spec sheet. Take anywhere you see G85, put M50, plagiarize that whole spec sheet. Just plagiarize the whole thing. Can you do this? Is plagiarism okay in the camera world? Can we do that? It's not cheating if you do it better. You know, if you get your paper graded first, that you're the originator. You didn't cheat. That's how that works. And so everything minus the sensor size, contrast, autofocus, just put the G85, like just X-Men it together. Become the Marvel universe of cameras. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. It'll probably be 2020 before they do the right thing. I don't know. I just don't trust Canon anymore. I don't trust them. Said I would have quite on the spot. Not sure what you mean there. I must have missed it. You saying, yeah, okay, base cornbread, you're saying, okay. So the 16-35 is by Canon. The f2.8, not the f4. It has image stabilization. Okay, that's cool then. I'll look into it. I will look into it and see what is the deal on that. But all I can do is wish that Canon does some more stuff. They're allegedly supposed to be getting out some new DSLRs for 2019. Why, I don't know, but we'll see. You said the 24-105 f3.5 to 5.6 is $329, and it has image stabilization. Now, my buddy Sean Cannell has that, I think, for his 6D Mark II, I think. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. So the $300 price range is usually where you can find most good lenses and stuff. I was just kind of hoping that we could get to use EFS lenses on the speed booster, and that would literally solve any problem, or technically problem, that I would have, or anything that I really want. That's the only thing. It would solve anything that I just kind of want. And everybody wants that 10-18 or something like it, updated version of it, hopefully, for it. But I watched somebody that they pulled that back end off, or hacked the lens, so they're saying. But then you get all this crazy vignetting, which is like the corners are all like black. And it looks like you're looking through a tunnel. Like when I put the speed booster on, well, not the speed booster on, but I put those like lens adapters on during Vlogmas. Why am I mess up a lens to get that, or I'm only stuck at 18 or like, it doesn't make any sense. I'd rather just, I don't know. I'd rather just use the kit lens and be done with it. I don't know. Or you get like saying just 24, 16-35, something like that. 24-70, 24-105, 16-35, any lens, and just use that. But Base Cornbread, I appreciate you looking into that for me. I'll definitely check that out. But you're saying, yeah, you saw the vignetting. Yeah, it's just like that, looking like you're looking through something like that. That looks ridiculous. Like, why? You zoom, just like, what are you doing? Like, why mess up a lens, a practically good lens, for that one thing and that one function? It's not worth it. And you're losing half of the lens. Literally losing half of the lens for that. It's not worth it to me. I don't think Canon is going to continue their DSLR stuff. I know they had some like super basic, super de-duper basic ones that didn't even have like an on and off button. You kind of just turned the dial at the top and it turned it on. Weird stuff. So just like $200 or $300 DSLRs or something like that. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. But they got the M50 close enough. The speed booster gets us over that hump. EOS HD takes you into all kind of color grading territory that you could want. Adapters bring us into the EFS or EF lens system ecos. We're literally getting, I think, a better deal with the M50 and everything that you can add to it to make it more of what you want versus just like the EOS R straight out the box. And like I said, that's just my opinion. I usually keep up on the rumor sites and all that. I'm not seeing a whole bunch. The most exciting thing, hopefully, to drop soon is the new the new Canon G7X Mark III that looks like, from the leaked pictures, it'll have a microphone in jack. And I already have a hack for what to do with that microphone, because most people are thinking something like this, where you sit it on top, but that ceramic microphone, that's going to be the hack. It literally sits on the side. The same thing I use for my M6, my M3. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm looking at the different, kind of cameras to recommend for my video academy, or not lenses, but just cameras in general. And that's one that I'm looking at, considering, depending on price point and all that stuff. But I think they got it close enough, and they almost messed up making it everything of what we wanted. Because I like the fact that the speed booster came out. Viltrox actually did it. EOS HD gave us a completely flat color picture profile. I have no reason to touch that EOS R at all. Not this new one that they have coming out. Probably may not be much more. It'll probably be too much. And then not the one that they have right now. So I get plenty of years using this. The J85 is still the beast from the east. So yeah. So Steph Shutter TV said, a little birdie told me there will be a couple of M lenses in 2019. I did hear about one, which is this 15 to 45 millimeter kit lens. They're somehow making it better. So here's to hoping that we can get rid of noise at lower ISOs, because it's literally just the lens. That was one thing that I tested even before the speed booster came out. If you put a better lens on there, and my buddy has the 18 to 55 EOS M, or EFM, kit lens. A lot of numbers and letters we're throwing out tonight. My buddy has that 18 to 55 kit lens for the EFM. So I want to try that one and just see, because that is a much heavier lens, way better glass, way better build system. That one is built really, really well. So I want to see, with that lens on this M50, do you still get, more noise in the shots at lower ISOs, or, is it okay? Because I'm at 800 right now, and it looks fine to me. 800 is typically what I use. Got my two softbox lights, even got the ceiling light on, got the one behind me. Literally surrounded by light, and this is how most of my shots are. But even still, every so often, if I drop it down a little bit more or something, or not drop it down, but increase it more, you'll kind of start to see some of that come in, but I don't see it too often. But it's not enough to make a big, huge deal over it, So I don't know, but I am curious to see what else did the birdie tell you, Steph? We need to know these things. What other things are coming out as far as the lenses? I'd be curious to know. I'm honestly surprised that the sound went out again. So I will probably send this microphone in for